Who is the top electric skateboard maker in the world? Who are the runner-ups? How popular is electric skateboards compared to other personal electric vehicles? Hello there, I'm Steven, and I review electric skateboards. But in my professional career, I'm a senior digital marketing manager with a particular focus on search engine marketing. Digging into search data and trends can uncover a lot of valuable information, such as, is there a big sale coming? However, for today's topic, we'll explore and answer the question on just who is the biggest electric skateboard company out there by search volume. Search data is usually pretty accurate when assessing who has the biggest market share of a particular product or segment. So without further delays, let's jump right into it. A quick background on the data that I use. I used Google Ads Keyword Planner tool, which is a great tool for seeing the monthly search volume of a particular set of keywords or any individual keywords. It can also help you discover all related keywords of a particular intent or subject. In this case, the subject here is electric skateboards. Using the volume data generated from electric skateboards and a few notable electric skateboard brand names, I can confidently tell you what brand is more popular and therefore more likely to sell more. It's not always true that the brand with the highest search volume sells more, but it generally is a safe bet, unless that higher search volume brand is so incompetent that they can't monetize their own brand search volume effectively. But in general, the brand with the higher search volume tend to sell more. For example, Ford Mustang versus Chevy Camaro. The trend line here shows that the Mustang interest is double that of the Camaro, and actual report sales figure show that the Mustang sold 47,566 units, while the Camaro sold only 24,652 units. As you can see here, the actual sales figure of the Mustang outsold the Camaro by almost double. That closely mirrors the trend graph that we just saw before with the search volume. In most business-to-consumer retail, the search volume is highly correlated with the sales volume. As we move on to search volume data for electric skateboards, it is a pretty safe bet to use search volume to at least make some good educated guess on which electric skateboard company is the biggest in terms of sales volume. So with all of that background data information out of the way, using the latest monthly search volume data, I was able to put together the following results. In 7th place, the spot goes to Max Find with 1,250 searches per month. In the 6th place, the spot goes to WowGo with 2,400 searches per month. And in 5th place, the spot goes to Backfire with 7,080 searches or impressions. X-Way has 10,740 searches a month. Evolve has roughly 12,240 searches. Boosted Board still has a commanding 12,500 searches. Yes, that Boosted Board. The dead Boosted brand still ranks second for the most popular electric skateboard brands out there and still holds the second place for the most valuable brand. Someone needs to buy this brand name and sell electric skateboards still under its name, as we can see how popular it is here. Anyway, the number one electric skateboard brand in terms of search volume is Meepo, with 34,580 searches in the month of July 2023, outperforming its closest living competitor by more than 200%. Are you surprised? I was actually a little bit surprised to see Meepo has such a huge search volume and huge interest as compared to other electric skateboard brands. So as you can see here, Meepo isn't really just selling skateboards, they're actually building a brand name for themselves as well. So what about other electric skate brands that isn't listed here, such as Onsra? If you don't see them on this chart, that means their search volume is so low, they did not make it onto this list. Of course, this list isn't perfect. I may have missed keywords here and there, but directionally, it is indisputable that Meepo has the highest mind share and market share out of all the electric skateboard companies out there, and by a large margin too. This also explains why so many people say Meepo has a quality control issue. The reason that you are seeing more Meepo boards with issues is simply because there are a lot of Meepo boards out there to have issues with. It's just like the joke #Honda bump, where people think there are so many bad Honda drivers out there, but in reality, it's simply because there are a lot of Hondas out there. So it's inevitable to see a lot of, Hondas in traffic, not because there's a high rate of Honda drivers getting into accident, but simply because there's a large volume of them. Let me know down below if you agree with my assessment. What do you think of Meepo's customer service and its quality control. I have almost all of Meepo boards in my arsenal, and I think they're super well built, especially for the last 2 years or so. All the boards I've gotten feels extremely good in quality, but hey, you might have a complete different experience. Sound it off down below. Thank you. So another interesting question emerges. What about Onewheels? You know, these things. Technically, it is still a skateboard, but with just one wheel. Let's take a look at the chart, but with Onewheels added in. Yep, Onewheels brand search volume absolutely demolishes all of Eskate brand search volumes. Added together, you add 7th place, 6th place, all the way down to 1st place. You add them together, they will still not top Onewheel's brand search impressions. However, I'm not surprised here because Future Motion is basically a patent holding monopoly, and it is the only company that can sell electric skateboards with a self-balancing wheel in the United States. So is this the end for Eskates? Does it mean that Eskate isn't as popular as Onewheels? No, not at all, because most electric skateboards are non-branded. What is a non-branded keyword, right? So non-branded keywords are exactly what they sound like. They're searches without a specific brand in the keyword. As you can see here, there are roughly 272,000 searches about electric skateboards in the month of June, but do not contain the name brand in it. An example of a non-brand keyword is like best electric skateboards, all-terrain electric longboard. So what does it mean when a lot of people search but without a brand in it? People tend to search for cars like Chevy Camaro or Mustang or Tesla Model 3 or something like that. Most of these keywords have a brand name in it, but these don't. So what does it mean? This just means that most people who want to buy electric skateboards don't know what brands are out there, and they're searching generically to do research on their purchases. Markets like this are incredibly fierce, as this indicates that most buyers are not brand loyal in the electric skateboard marketplace. Either they are newcomers or they don't care about what brand that they get. However, this is where I see opportunities. The electric skateboard market is mostly unbranded. No Eskate company is willing to make very big mindshare and upper funnel investments so that people start out their customer journey by typing out the brand name instead of something generic. How do you win the mindshare of an entire market? Well, that's for another video, but for Eskate companies out there, if you're sick of your agencies doing just the bare minimum and want me to do some consulting for your brand, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help. Okay, so there's another question that I had is how big are the other EV markets as compared to electric skateboards? So if you just compare the top terms of the top 4 PEVs, such as e-bikes, e-scooters, EUCs, and electric skateboards, the electric skateboard keyword search volume roughly holds about 5.45% of the entire PEV market in terms of search volume or search interest, with electric unicycles coming in last place, holding a 1.56% of the PEV market. I did also use various names for EUCs as well, such as the fully spelled out electric unicycles and e-wheels, anything that you can think of to kind of bump that number up, but unfortunately it's just around 1.56% of the entire PEV market. What puzzles me about this low number is that electric unicycle YouTubers generally have a lot of viewers and view counts. So I have two theories on why EUCs have such low search volume but high view count on YouTube. Number one is novelty. Most people who watch EUC content don't plan to buy one or is already priced out of the market by electric unicycles' high prices. They're just there for entertainment purposes because it looks really cool to ride it like a motorcycle, except it's one wheel and zip around in the middle of the city. That's the same reason that I found electric unicycles, because of Kujiro's video, and I watched his videos for 2 years before pulling the trigger on the Kingson S22 Pro. The second theory is that electric unicycles sells through mainly dealers instead of their own direct-to-consumer website. So organic traffic wouldn't normally look up the brands or the models of those specific wheels. They will look up for places like e-wheels, EVs, or alien rides or something like that. Basically a dealer that's selling electric unicycles instead of, searching for the brand itself. Let's move on to Onewheels. So Onewheels commands an 8.47% of the personal electric vehicle market. And we kind of just talked about how Onewheel is much bigger, so this falls right in line with what I was expecting. Next comes up is e-scooter. Electric scooters holds about 33.84% of the personal electric vehicle market. And lastly, e-bikes. Electric bikes hold a commanding 50.6% of the entire PEV market. And that's why you see on the news about e-bikes being on fire every day and people getting injured on e-bikes. Not because electric bikes is more dangerous than anything else, it's just because a whole crap ton of people have them and you're bound to have a high volume of them having accidents. It's mind-boggling to think that all of the Eskate plus EUC plus Onewheels plus e-scooters barely equals the market of electric bikes. To be honest, I'm pretty shocked here. I always thought electric skateboards is a niche market, but for it to only penetrate about 5% of the entire personal electric vehicle market is a bit shocking to me. That means of 100 people who are thinking about buying a personal electric vehicle, only 5 of them end up actually buying an electric skateboard, and that's a tiny number. Also, electric unicycle market share shocks me too, because I thought they are much bigger than 1.56% of the search market. I think electric skateboards has many blockers that may contribute to a low market share penetration. The first blocker is that not many people know how to electric skateboard, and it is inconvenient to learn Eskate just to go somewhere. Number 2 is that the wheels of electric boards are most of the time too small and prone to accidents. Number 3 is that you can't lock them up like a bike and you must carry them, so they must be as light as possible. And number 4, electric skateboards, just like skateboards, are banned in many places. And number 5, they are pretty expensive. $500 for an entry-level e-skate, and also for $500 you can get an e-bike as well. For most people who are serious about, commuting from point A to point B as last mile or just a few miles, electric bike is probably the most logical way to go, especially when it's available at the same price. So I hope you find this video very interesting. If you have any questions, suggestions, let me know down below and I'll make another video on them. Alright, thank you. If you find this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.